Let's get a quick take on conservative commentator Ann Coulter speaking at the University of Colorado at Boulder this week. Her speech calling out immigrants and Muslims sparked outrage and protest and ultimately led to at least 100 people who were in the audience to walk out before she concluded. Patty Calhoun from Westward, we're used to people walking out at 100 at a time of a Colorado Inside Out taping, but what did you think of what happened with Ann Coulter?
Well, they should have done what I did last time I heard Ann Coulter, which is just nap through the speech. She is incredibly predictable, but it's also predictable that there would have been a protest. People are allowed to speak. They should have just let her speak and protested outside.
David Kopel from the Independence Institute and DU Law School. Ann Coulter's going to be making a guest appearance on Devil's Advocate with John Kildare. I can't remember the actual date, but it's going to be coming up soon. What did you think of the reaction and the fact that the speech still continued? It wasn't shut down, at least, up at CU.
Well, that makes CU a bastion of free speech compared to the cultural revolution led by the fascist Red Guards that's going on in many other universities around the country. So good for CU and good for the students. Obviously, they were going to walk out at a particular moment, regardless of what she'd said. I mean, she could have endorsed Nancy Pelosi to be the next pope, and that they still would have walked out. But so it was a little selfish to take 100 spaces from somebody who wanted to listen to the speech, but relatively mild and compared to other places. I've known her since 1989, long before she was famous. Over the decades, she has become less of a serious and clever policy analyst and more of a performance artist, sort of a John the Baptist for Milo Yiannopoulos, who's the most ridiculous extreme of that. And I would say her last book, titled In Trump We Trust, somewhat undermines her credibility as a predictor of political events.
You know, David, I appreciate the fact that we're entering into Holy Week after Sunday, that you're able to bring in a John the Baptist. But that's high-level analysis that viewers have come to expect here in Colorado Inside Out. Eric Solomon, political analyst, were you surprised at least that the speech was able to continue even with the walkout?
Yeah, I mean, as David pointed out, compared to what has become the norm on too many college campuses, this went really relatively smoothly. I think it is a misnomer to call Ann Coulter a conservative commentator. She is a wacky commentator. There's no serious intellectual content of the conservative stripe or of any stripe. It's equally a misnomer to call, the protesters, whether it's at CU or any college campus these days, liberals. There's plenty of thoughtful intellectual liberals. These people are autocrats and way beyond liberal in terms of their rejection of any tenet of free speech. The best thing to do with the Ann Coulters of the world, let them speak and just ignore them. Just ignore them. David said performance artist, good phrase. She is all about the hype and not about the content.
Ed Seelever from the Denver Business Journal joins us, rounds out the panel. All about substance, never about hype. Ed, wrap it up for us. What do you think?
Well, I mean, while we're talking about when they walked out and who walked out, I think we're missing this point. This was actually an opportunity. I mean, Lord knows Boulder needs a second helping of diversities of opinions when it comes to things like environment and comes to immigration. This could have been an opportunity to actually have that conversation. Clearly, she had no interest in this, and it read from the article like she even, had hoped to get them to leave by what she said. I think it's just a missed opportunity for everyone to have a good conversation up there.